Coming out on the field is Kyle Orton, the quarterback for the Bears. And he has done nothing but win since he's been a starter, beginning back in 05. 11-6 is his record as a starting quarterback, including last week against the Packers. Bears opening up with two tight ends and both effective receivers in Desmond Clark and Greg Olsen. From the 32, they hand off to Adrian Peterson for about 1.5 yards.
Dick, in the spotlight for the Bears today is going to be the punter, Brad Maynard. He was last week's Special Teams Player of the Week. Did a great job of placing the ball in hectic, windy conditions here in Chicago. Got to do the same thing today. Devin Hester, teams have not kicked to him in the last month. 20 returns. We're waiting, Devin. He gets his hands on the ball. Watch out. And then Brian Urlacher still spearheads this defense. Been very active in the last month.
John St. Clair is starting at left guard, and on 2nd down and 8, Greg Olsen makes the reception. He'll be stopped short of the first down by 3.5 yards. And making the play was Mark Simoneau, the middle linebacker.
You know, and for Kyle Orton, he believes that he's a frontline starting quarterback in the NFL. Now, he gets to do this in weather conditions that a lot of people don't get to play in, but that's part of playing quarterback in Chicago. Dealing with the wind, dealing with the cold, dealing with drop footballs in weather that can be really tough.
Threw only 14 passes against Green Bay, but did not make a mistake, which was paramount. 3rd down and 3. Orton with time, and off the hands of Desmond Clark, incomplete. So it's 4th down, and Lance Briggs, who is inactive last week, is starting at weak side linebacker. Jermaine McBride, the rookie, replacing Nathan Vasher, who is on injured reserve. And the first pass of the game is caught, and it'll be shy of the first down. David Patton in his 11th year, picking up 8 yards.
Drew Brees is having a great season. He's been fantastic in the last 5 games. He's really come on, the 10 touchdowns and the 2 interceptions, and they put it all on his shoulders. And he accepts the responsibility. They've lost a lot when they lost Deuce McAllister earlier this year, but he said that he can still get him to a 500 record.
2nd down and 2, and Brees can't find a receiver on the empty backfield, and Ricky Manning Jr. coming up from the secondary. And the first sack, a loss of 4.
Well, here's Ricky Manning coming in off the slot right here. Drew Brees doesn't feel him and doesn't see him. I mean, what Drew Brees was looking for was a hot receiver, somebody that as soon as that blitz came to turn to look for the ball, Drew wanted to throw it, and the receiver wasn't ready.
Only the 14th sack allowed by the Saints. They lead the league, so on 3rd down and 5, the pass is intercepted by Urlacher. And Brian Urlacher, who returned an interception 85 yards for a touchdown last week, picks this off, and the Bears are in Saints territory on the first turnover.
Well, it's just like the interception last week of Brian Urlacher. He started up in the line of scrimmage, and then at the snap, dropped back to his position. Brees thought he could get the ball in there, and in fact, he couldn't. That's the 4th interception by Urlacher in the last 5 weeks. There's Urlacher in the line of scrimmage. Jumped right into the passing lane.
And the Bears may be out of it, looking to finish at 7-9. But Lovie Smith says this is setting the tempo for next year, as Adrian Peterson off the right side. And good pursuit, especially by Charles Grant of the Saints. No gain on 1st down.
Dick, just going back to that last interception by Brian Urlacher, we saw him in the line of scrimmage. The Bears started doing that with their linebackers last year. Teams around the league started copying it. And it really has made the entire league adjust their protections. Because if you're underneath the center and he comes, he can grab the quarterback before anybody can get there. Every team has to deal with that now. Nobody does it better than Urlacher and the Bears.
His return for the touchdown last week, first of his career. 2nd down and 10. Orton with time, fires, touchdown. No, out of bounds. Greg Olsen did not get both feet in.
They're looking at the spot of Soldier Field. A little CSI Chicago going on right there. They think there's evidence. Great throw here.
1? No.
No. That's a good call. Right on the white.
Yep.
That's a great call by the back judge there, as you see the left foot on the white stripe. Nothing to be reviewed there.
Putting them in a position where they do not control their own destiny. 3rd down and 10 after the Bears timeout. Ball at the 21 of New Orleans. And Orton again through the air and incomplete, trying to get it to Greg Olsen. So 4th down coming up and a field goal attempt coming on. Right now the rookie Pierre Thomas from Linwood, Illinois, just 28 miles south of Soldier Field with his first time in the stadium, and carries on 1st down.
And Dick, Pierre Thomas is in the spotlight today, the local Linwood, Illinois product. It's the first time he's ever been inside Soldier Field. Growing up as a Bear fan, it's a big moment for him this afternoon. And Jason David was the Saints' key free agent acquisition coming into the season from the world champion Indianapolis Colts. He's had a tough go of it this year. Marcus Colston, 2 receptions shy of setting an NFL record for number of catches his first 2 years.
This is a passing team, and Colston makes the catch at the 30-yard line with Ricky Manning covering, and a pickup of 5 yards.
It's been some kind of a start to an NFL career by Marcus Colston. We just mentioned it was his 161st catch in his first 2 years. That ties him with Larry Fitzgerald for most catches by an NFL player in his first 2 seasons in the history. He had no idea about that record, talking to him down in the field before the game.
7th round draft pick out of Hofstra College in Hempstead, Long Island last year. 3rd down and 4. They spread it out, and Colston is there, and he's knocked down. Lance Briggs puts the hit on, and it's ruled an incompleted pass. And the Bears hitting hard early on, and now tempers flare as the Bears and the Saints going at it. Jamal Brown and Jari Evans of the Saints right in the middle of it.
Well, that got the Bear fans up on their feet. And they got the hair in the back of the necks up on a lot of players out there. And that's exactly what this defense is geared to do. Funnel everything to the middle. So there's 2 stud linebackers, Lance Briggs and Urlacher, to be able to lay hits on like that. See, Jamal Brown comes down, and he doesn't know that Tremaine McBride doesn't have a free ball to run with, so he's just trying to finish the play. You kick to the Bears.
1st down on the 29. Here comes pressure in on Orton, and Orton's pass knocked away. Mark Bradley defended downfield by Jason David.
When teams surprise onside kick, that would be in the first 3 quarters of the game, or when your team is leading in the 4th quarter, the success rate is 60%, incredibly high. People don't realize that. Look for Sean Payne today to maybe pull a surprise kick at some point during this game, trying to get an extra possession for the offense.
Meanwhile, Devin Hester is in the slot to the right. Berrien lined up wide to the right as Adrian Peterson on the carry, and Peterson a yard shy of the 1st down. So Adrian Peterson, who led the Bears to a season's high 139 yards rushing last week, gets 9.
You know, the Bears have a lot of decisions to make with free agents at the end of the season, and one guy that will be here, and Lovie Smith has said as long as he's the head coach, Adrian Peterson will be right here with them on this team because of his versatility and all of the different things that he can do.
Cedric Benson, of course, out with a broken ankle in week 12. Garrett Wolf is the backup running back. 3rd down and 1, and here is Peterson, and Peterson diving forward, and he gets the 1st down to the 40. So last in rushing yards attempt, next to last in rushing yards, and 30th. So the Bears offense way down at the bottom, but Lovie Smith made no mistake about it. He said, we are a running team, but they've got to do a lot better in that department. Devin Hester lining up to the left. Pick up the pressure pretty well, and this pass is caught by Berrien. Goes out of bounds, and a 1st down into Saints territory.
Well, this is play action pass here, Dick. And you're going to see they're working on Jason David, who we talked about earlier in this game. Every team has gone off after Jason David, and after meeting Jason David for the first time yesterday, you can see why. This guy gets the most out of his ability, but he is 5'8", barely 170 pounds. It is hard to compete against some of the giants on the outside.
And a former Colt who played mostly zone defense. Here's the quick out to Berrien. And Berrien will be wrestled down by a couple of Saints, including Will Smith and Jason David. And a flag goes down at 5'8". I think it was more Will Smith than David on that penalty. And there is Orton. trying to get away from trouble on first down and trying to get it to Berrien, and the pass incomplete. Good coverage downfield by Jason Kraft, and pressure put on by Charles Grant up front.
Well, Kyle Orton does a good job of escaping. So he doesn't even see Charles Grant to the last second. Just catches him out of the corner of his eye, out of the periphery there. He's able to buy some time just to get rid of that ball, throw it away, and live for another down without giving up a bad play. He said, you know, when you get down to this part of the field, the worst thing you can do is take a sack and get yourself out of field goal range.
This is the third straight start for Orton. And the pitch going to Adrian Peterson. Peterson cutting upfield and can't get away from Bullocks. A gain of 7.
Arkansas and Missouri, one of the great quarterbacks in the league, and Chase Daniels against one of the great running backs in Darren.
Great matchup, and just the first of a big week. Here's Peterson going outside. He's got the first down. Adrian Peterson getting inside the 20-yard line. Scott Shanley follows him, but the 5-yard pickup, and the Bears once again threaten.
Watch the right side of this line here, including Greg Olsen here at end. Get the New Orleans Saints on skates here. Olin Cruz comes out, picks off the middle linebacker, Mark Semino right there. They get a little bit of a crease there, and Adrian Peterson, he's not the fastest guy, but he's talented and skilled at finding the hole and getting every bit of yardage out of the hole that's created.
And a smart running back and a good receiver out of the backfield as well. Has 25 yards on 6 carries thus far. First down. Orton throws it to Bradley. Touchdown. Only the 6th catch of the year for Mark Bradley.
He's working on Jason Kraft, who's taken over for Mike McKenzie, who was hurt last week. You see that Kraft just slipped on the turf right there, lost his footing just for a split second. And Kyle Orton had enough protection to stay with Bradley.
And the Saints knocking them out of the playoffs. Aaron Stecker joins Pierre Thomas in the backfield. And Thomas fighting for first down yardage. Rookie from the University of Illinois, and recruited and played for Ron Turner, the offensive coordinator for Chicago. Close to the first down, and he does have it.
You know, when that Pierre Thomas came out of high school and Ron Turner recruited him, he was one of the most highly recruited players in the nation. And he got hurt at Illinois. He actually got bruised in the lower leg, and they had to go out and take out some muscle out of the lower leg. It kind of slowed him down a little bit, but he has great strength and great balance. That's what they like.
And he gets the ball again. And stays on his feet after the initial hit. And gets into Bears territory, picking up 6 yards before Alex Brown brings him down.
This is a kid that grew up idolizing Walter Payton. That was his the player that he wanted to idolize and be remembered by. And this is his first visit to Soldier Field. Never came here as a kid, never saw a game here. He said he got chills just stepping on the field this morning.
What a thrill it is for Thomas. He's had a couple of good showings earlier in the year. Play action in the pass from Eric Johnson. And the tight end is stopped about 2 yards shy of the first down. Johnson, who has missed the last 2 games. And Drew Brees, the last 2 seasons, has been hot as any quarterback in the NFL, and there have been some hot ones.
Yeah, I mean, he was what Sean Payton wanted to build this offense around. He's been every bit of what he wanted. The one missing component this year to this offense has been Deuce McAllister and the inside power running that he brought to this team.
McAllister went out in the 3rd game for the season. Saints lost their first 4. 3rd down and 2, and Brees trying to get it away, and a great rush by Aguilia. And Brees never had a chance, and a flag is back down at the 40-yard line.
He's hidden in the hyperbaric chamber that the ankle should be healed and ready for the playoff.
First down for the Bears and Kyle Orton from the 9. Play action back on the goal line, and this pass intended for Adrian Peterson is incomplete. But you know, Cowboys-Redskins, always a great rivalry, and I think no matter who they play, the Cowboys would like nothing better than to knock Washington out of the playoffs.
No question. I think Tony Romo will start later on today. We'll see him, but I think he'll come out along with some other starters. But Brad Johnson, the backup to Tony Romo, who once played for the Redskins. Would love to stick it to Dan Snyder and the Redskins.
And he's a pretty capable backup.
Absolutely. He has won a Super Bowl with Tampa Bay.
Second down and 10. Peterson. And the Saints are there. They converge in at the 11-yard line. So the Cowboys, Packers, Seahawks, and Buccaneers are the top 4 seeds. The Giants are number 5, and of course Washington controls their own destiny. And how about the New York Giants and the way they played last night, Brian, against the New England Patriots, going down 38-35, and they won a lot of fans and support for playing hard and playing their main guys throughout.
For all 4 quarters when they didn't have to, I thought it was great for football last night.
Third down and 8. Orton gets time, going on top for Devin Hester. And no flag is thrown as the defender did not face the ball. Roman Harper downfield never looked up for the ball as the ball hit him in the back.
Well, here's a play that they should have been running more frequently in Chicago this year. Devin Hester gets behind Jason Kraft. I don't know how that isn't interference. Played them tough, but every time the Patriots have found themselves behind in the second half this year, they found a way to win the game. They did again last night.
First down for the Saints on the Bear 47. Breeze looking to throw on first down. And the pass incomplete, intended for Marcus Colston.
And Tennessee loses against the Colts tonight. They will advance to the playoffs provided they win today.
Second down and 10 from the 47, and this pass floats. And nearly picked off by McBride.
What we're seeing here from the New Orleans Saints is a team that is a dome team, a passing team. Here in the elements today, we're seeing drop passes. We're seeing some breakdowns with protection right now. And Drew Brees in this passing game struggling against a fired-up Bears defense, a defense that has played exceedingly well in the last month.
Third down and 10. Saints had a golden opportunity starting this series in Bears territory. David Patton on the screen gets the first down for New Orleans. Ricky Manning on the stop, a gain of 11. And the Saints right now with their deepest penetration.
It was a good play here by Drew Brees and the Saints because they catch the Bears with a lot of guys up in the line of scrimmage, and they're just going to check it off. Just a little wide receiver screen. And that's all that's required there for David Patton. You can see Patton out here. Just a little wide receiver screen over the hands of Aguilia, and then he's got 2 blockers out front. Fain out there along with Jari Evans leading the way.
Matt Toina playing defensive tackle number 75. Jimmy Kennedy number 72 also in there for Chicago. First down, Brees' pass and knocked away, and that pass was intended for Devery Henderson and the rookie Tremaine McBride, starting for Nathan Vasher with a good play.
That's a very good play by Tremaine McBride because he stayed on the outside shoulder of Henderson, funneled him to the inside, and then was able to get the hand on the ball as he closed on the pass.
To no surprise, Brian, the Saints have passed 11 of their 14 plays so far in this first quarter.
He's thrown over 600 passes this year so far.
A record-breaking year for him, potentially. And here is Pierre Thomas. Busts outside, remains on his feet. Good run by Pierre Thomas. Manning making the tackle after an 8-yard gain.
Well, here's the strength of Pierre Thomas and the strong legs that he has. He prides himself in being able to break tackles, stay in his bounce, runs over Charles Tillman there. And if Daniel Manning doesn't come to finish him up, he may still be stumbling down the field.
Thomas beat out the Saints' 4th-round pick, Antonio Pittman, in training camp. So he's earned his spot. That's what he's done thus far. Third down and 2, New Orleans. Brees gets hit as he throws, and it's knocked away. And a great play made by Brandon McGowan on Billy Miller, the tight end. So 4th down coming up. And it's 4th and 2. And one of the things you said as we look at this replay,
great pass coverage. I mean, you can't defend it any better than McGowan does. And
it looks like the Saints are going for it on 4th down, which Sean Payton said he would do often in this one.
Well, he said, you know, 4th down, you have a 50-50 chance to make it here in 4th and less than 3. And he likes putting the ball in Drew Brees' hands, and Brees likes that responsibility of going for it on 4th down.
Breeze, and it's tipped. And the Bears will take over on downs. Adewale Ogunleye get his hands on it. So the 4th down gamble by Sean Payton, and the Bears will take over.
Well, here's Ogunleye up top, right here. All he's going to do is play this short slant route right here. He comes inside, gets his hands up, and the Bears in just the last 3 passes have tipped all 3.
And a very aggressive Bears defense today. And take over on downs at the 28. And Garrett Wolf, the change-up running back, is in the lineup now. And Devin Hester is split wide right. And the quick going out to Hester. Puts the stiff arm on Jason Kraft. And a flag goes down. And the Bears may have a 1st down pending the call. And this team needs an improved offense, no question about it. And Hester will have a lot more responsibility. Lovie Smith promises. 1st down and 15. Garrett Wolf bounces off the defender, gets a few extra yards, and winds up at the 33. Kraft on the tackle, but Wolf gets 10 on that run.
It's just that time of the year around the league right now. You're looking at the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th running back. We're looking at Pierre Thomas for the Saints today, and Garrett Wolf, the 3rd round pick of the Bears this year from Northern Illinois, who set all kinds of college rushing records.
Orton has that pass tipped, and that was Charles Grant who got a hand on it to bring up 3rd down.
See, that last time when Kyle Orton had this ball tipped, the first thing he did is like following your shot in basketball. He went after it, trying to get that ball down. If anybody from the Saints might come down with it, he was going to go knock the ball down himself. That's the worst feeling for a quarterback, Dick, is when they get a pass tip, because you never know the result of what the play could have been had the defender not timed the jump like that.
And a little unusual for the Bears, passing 12 times and rushing only 8. But they have the lead 10-0. 3rd down and 5. Good protection. And the pass thrown over the head of Bernard Berrien. And that will bring up 4th down with 18 seconds and 13 on the official clock remaining.
Everything is going to end later today, possibly.
On a slant, Poston. And he is tackled close to the 1st down by Danielle Manning. Game break, here's Kurt.
Packers have already clinched the number 2 seed in the NFC, and if you don't think they're having fun today against the Lions, watch Brett Favre. Touchdown pass after scrambling to Bubba Franks, but then how about the celebration? Referee Pete Morelli, give me 5, 10, 15, keep it going. 21-3 right now, Packers in the 2nd. Dick and Baldy.
Big difference, Brian, from a week ago in this goal.
Boy, Brett, that didn't look like he said it was the worst conditions he'd ever played in 16 years in Green Bay here at Soldier Field last week. There's a Colston record there with that last catch.
Breeze, and he completes it to Colston. And Colston with a 1st down inside the 40 to add to his record. 18 yards on the play to Marcus Colston. And Sean Payton likes to say if we knew he was going to be that good, we wouldn't have waited to the 7th round last year.
The 7th round, yeah. In fact, he was so good so early that they traded away Dante Stallworth last year to the Eagles during training camp and started making way for him to emerge in this offense.
Stallworth, of course, now with the Patriots. The pitch going to Pierre Thomas on the outside has running room. And Thomas getting inside the 30. And the Saints may have yet another 1st down with Brandon McGowan, the strong safety, chasing. And the Saints needing to win and need help if they're to make the playoffs. In motion is Terrence Copper. And on the screen pass, here's Pierre Thomas. And Thomas trying to grind and get to the 1st down and may have another one. So what a debut here at Soldier Field for Pierre Thomas from 28 miles south of here.
Well, he looks like he belongs. I mean, he does a great job of setting up the screen, inviting Hillemeyer up, and now this is what he does best. He's got great bounce. We talked about the strength in his legs. He spends a lot of time in a weight room just building him up, and you can see he's breaking tackles, and the other key ingredient, he's got great bounce. It's hard to knock him off those strong legs.
Doing the job. Aaron Stecker's been in the lineup but hasn't carried it yet. Here is Breeze with the pass through the hands of Marcus Colston. Incomplete. And that will bring up 3rd and 1.
Well, this is the area of offense where the Saints have struggled on 3rd and short, goal line situations where in years past you just hand the ball off to Deuce McAllister and he gets you the first down. You stay on schedule, you stay on the field. They have had problems converting these situations this year.
And Reggie Bush, when he took over from McAllister, not quite the lead running back that Deuce was. 3rd down and 1, and a play fake, pressure from the secondary, and that does the job for the Bears. The pass intended for Thomas, incomplete, and it was Brandon McGowan who stormed in on Drew Brees.
There comes the pressure, and this is what the Saints are forced to do in a lot of these situations, is throw the ball on 3rd and inches simply because they don't trust that they have a back powerful enough to go carry it right into the pile.
So it'll be 4th and less than 1, and once again the Saints trying for the first down. They were stymied the first time they went for it on 4th down and 2. And here's Thomas, and he'll get the first down running straight ahead as he is tackled at the 17, a gain of 4.
So I think Sean Payton has to trust Pierre Thomas. What he's shown here is great strength and power, and give it to him in those short yardage situations. Last week they had a goal line stand. The Eagles stopped them down on the 1-foot yard line. They couldn't score on 4 running attempts right into the belly of the Eagles defense. Really turned that game around. The Eagles then took the ball 98 yards, and there was a 14-point turnaround, which affected the outcome of the game last week.
First down on the 17 of the Bears, and the quick to Moore, and Moore is wrestled down immediately by McBride. 7th round pick from Ole Miss and a 1-yard pickup.
Just looking at this Saints roster with Lance Moore going out, he was a free agent. Marcus Colston, a 7th round pick. Pierre Thomas, a free agent. I think Sean Payton looks at these guys and says, you know, they give it everything they've got. Plus, they've got some talent. And Robert Meacham, their 1st round pick, not active. Lance Moore in there. To Sean Payton's credit, he's playing the players that give him the best chance to win.
9th play of the drive. 2nd and 9. Brees will swing it out to Thomas, and Thomas getting inside the 10-yard line, and another first down. Very effective in this first quarter and early in the second, Pierre Thomas.
Well, here's Urlacher here, and he's going to get picked off by the right tackle. Right here. You're going to see Stinchcomb come out, and he locks up on Urlacher here, and now Pierre Thomas does a good job of running right off of that block, which allowed him to get the first down. And Pierre Thomas here, really valuable. Short yardage on 4th and inches in the receiving game, and also running the ball.
And already 55 total yards, and averaging 6.3 yards per carry. 1st and goal, going to the hot hand, and getting inside the 5 is Thomas. And it'll be 2nd down and goal as the Saints with their best offensive threat of the game.
Look at Pierre Thomas and Sean Payton calling the play there, and when they drafted Reggie Bush with the 2nd pick last year, they automatically thought that he would be able to handle this part of the football game, the inside running, and he just doesn't have that type of power. He doesn't carry people. He doesn't push the pile the way this kid does, the way Deuce McAllister did, and I think it opened a lot of eyes to just what type of player Reggie Bush is.
Posted to the top of your picture, and the pass intended for him gets knocked down. And it was Alex Brown who deflected it, and it looked like the Bears knew exactly what was coming on that play.
Well, Alex Brown has played really well in the last couple weeks. Mark Anderson hurt out for the year on injury reserve, one of 13 Chicago Bears on injury reserve, and you've seen a lot of passes batted down from Drew Brees today by these Bears.
Drew Brees not been sacked in the red zone, nor has he thrown an interception in the red zone. And a great job of ball control. 3rd down and goal, and Brees with time fires. It's tipped. He wanted to go to Colston, and the flag comes down, and McGowan, the strong safety, defending. And let's see if that call goes against Chicago.
Well, here's McGowan in the back, just turning it over to him. I don't know. I mean, you know, the right hand was on the hip of Marcus Colston, and they shouldn't throw that flag unless he turns Marcus Colston. I think he just rested it there and defended the ball with his left hand.
First and goal. Handoff to Thomas, and he's knocked back. The Bears were ready for him as Lance Briggs, and slow to get up, is the first man there. So Lance Briggs, and question as to whether he will be with the Bears next year. Unrestricted free agent. Second down and goal coming up.
You know, Lovie Smith would love to have Lance Briggs back. He'd love to keep that combination of him and Urlacher at linebacker.
They have 8 free agents, can't keep them all. And here is Thomas going outside and tripped up, and Lance Briggs with back-to-back plays, stopping the Saints as they try to run it in. And that will bring up third and goal.
Well, last week, Sean Payton, we talked about it, had a first and goal at the 1-foot line. And he said, we're not going to get cute. We're going to run the ball. They did 4 times in a row, and they lost yards on every carry. So far here, with first and goal at the foot line, they've done the same thing.
And Charles Tillman has been with him all the way. And there's a fade pattern to Colston. Comes down with it. Touchdown, Saints, as they get back in the game.
Well, they put Charles Tillman out there, their best defender, to be able to get both feet in bounds. He practices those kind of things. Just a diligent guy.
First down, and the give is to Adrian Peterson, cutting outside. Peterson with a big gain into Saints territory to the 43-yard line. A 20-yard run on first down, and a great block by the tight end, Desmond Clark.
Watch the block here by Jason McKee leading the way. Fullback does a good job leading on the middle linebacker right there. And then Adrian Peterson, patient, right behind him, makes the cut right off of McKee's block. Then Muhsin Muhammad downfield does a good job. I mean, everybody wants to get on the act when the running game is rolling.
And first down on the 43 of the Saints. Peterson fighting his way inside the 40. Peterson has averaged about 6 yards a carry, so the unheralded running backs getting the job done for both teams in this first half.
You know, and this is a disappointing season for the Bears. We've put up the statistics, how they run the ball, and if you want to be a running team, you've got to run it better than the Bears have throughout the course of the year. And so Lovie Smith is not going to change the way that he wants to win games. The running game is always going to be the foundation. Adrian Peterson has been a part of it.
Bobble on the snap, and Orton will cover up. And a flag will be thrown by Bill Levy, the referee.
Personal foul, number 91, defense. Unnecessary roughness, hitting the quarterback on the ground.
Will Smith with his second unnecessary roughness penalty of the game.
It's Will Smith at right end. He comes inside on a twist stunt. Orton laying down. The ball's dead right there.
Totally unnecessary.
Yep. This has been a disciplined defense all year. I mean, they've only had, that's only their 4th personal foul all season. No roughing calls on the quarterback, and only 2 pass interference calls. So very unlike the Saints this season.
Peterson up the middle, and a strong run. Scott Shanley was the first to get to Peterson, who picks up nearly 5 yards.
Just looking at the way the Bears are controlling the line of scrimmage here in the running game. And it's important to the Bears to win these last couple of games. Lovie Smith believes, just like the Packers did last year when they won their last 4, and it was a springboard to this year's success, that momentum can carry over in the offseason.
He said we're very close, and he says there's not one game this year that we trailed by more than a touchdown going into the 4th quarter. So the Bears have been in every one. Second down and 6. Orton's throw, and knocked down. And Berrien defended by Jason Kraft, and that was a close call for Orton and the Bears. And since Orton threw his touchdown pass to Mark Bradley in the first quarter, he's 0 for 5.
Devin Hester down here at the left flanker position.
Orton looking right all the way, and completes the pass to Muhsin Muhammad. First catch of the game for Muhammad inside the 10-yard line, picking up 15.
Now this is a great throw. I mean, here's Muhsin Muhammad right here, working against Usama Young in the slot. Gets some leverage there, puts that left foot in the ground, and then turns, and the ball is perfectly thrown. That's a throw that might be the best throw that Kyle Orton has made all day, and a key spot converting that 3rd down.
So shortly after that risky pass out to the flat, he drills this one. And there's the pitch to Peterson. Peterson is going to throw it wide open, burying, touchdown. Score and a little slipping and sliding all the way, but the Bears will take it.
Watch the creativity in this play, and it's all because Adrian Peterson, he sells the run. You can't sell the run any better than that.
And they're trying to win back-to-back games on the final 2 outings of the year. Drew Brees, first down. Saints trying to come back here, and the pass up the middle, caught by Colston, shy of midfield. And a gain of 16. And the hurry-up offense here as slows down now. Coming into the game is Terrence Copper in his 4th year. And Marcus Colston thus far has caught 5 passes for 59 yards, including a touchdown grab. Pitch to Thomas. Thomas going down the sideline, defended by Brian Urlacher.
Bears defense today has been active throughout, and they've gotten to Brees early. Urlacher with his 4th interception in the last 5 games. Goulier gets Brees down. They've defended the pass well. Held the Saints here to 1 touchdown in the first half. So there's really a good collective team effort, and that guy calling the signals been in the middle of it all.
Second down and 2 after the 7-yard gain. Copper moving in motion to the left, and Drew Brees fires, and the pass is incomplete, intended for Eric Johnson, and good coverage by Trumaine McBride.
I think one of the things that have bothered the Saints last year in the playoff loss, and then already today, is Urlacher coming? Isn't he coming? When he's up in that line of scrimmage, sometimes he does, sometimes he bluffs, sometimes he backs off to intercept a pass. It really affects the protection when the quarterback is right underneath the center. Forces you almost to go shotgun every play, which the Saints don't want to do.
Brees 11 of 23 passing for 100 yards. Here is Thomas. He gets the first down with some running room off the left side and carries it to about the 32, getting 11 yards before Danielle Manning, the free safety, takes him down.
Pierre Thomas coming into today on limited carries has averaged almost 5 yards a carry. He's doing that almost today as well, and you can see that he's a patient runner. He can break tackles. He runs low to the ground behind his pads. He looks like an NFL running back out there.
Most carries he's had in any game was 12, and that was against the Carolina Panthers, and he was very impressive in that game. You mentioned powerful legs. First down. Brees pump fakes one way and goes underneath to Mike Carney, the fullback. And Carney gets 5 yards with 3.5 minutes remaining in the first half. As you look at the rushing average, impressive for both teams, with Peterson and Thomas doing the job respectively. Saints started the year losing their first 4 games and losing Deuce McAllister. Won their next 4 and then kind of struggled along the way. Looked like they were making a move before they lost to Tampa Bay at home in a big loss, and then last week to the Eagles. And there is Thomas, and Thomas's extra effort will get him the first down. Very impressive drive runner today is Pierre Thomas, who picks up 7 more.
He's motivated and inspired today, playing on his first visit to Soldier Field. And you can see that. Runs right through Trumaine McBride, runs through McGowan and Urlacher, and finally Manning, with a lot of help, is able to get him down to the ground. I don't think we've seen him carry the ball today where he hasn't broken at least 1 tackle.
But it's been an uphill climb for the Saints in this first half. They've been trailing all the way and trying to get closer before intermission. Down by 10. Here's Drew Brees and trying to get it to Billy Miller. Incomplete.
Brees would like to have that one back, Dick. He'd like to have that back. He got exactly what he wanted. He got the play action fake there. He got Miller behind the defense with a great chance to get it into the end zone, and he missed it.
Saints coming into the game 3rd in the NFL in passing, 28th in rushing. They have averaged over 5 yards a rush. So that's been working for them today. Here's the 8th play of this drive. From the 21. They fake the run. Breeze completes to Colston. Colston at the 5. Touchdown. Marcus Colston. And Drew Brees got rid of it just before he was hit from behind. A 21-yard pass, and the Saints come back again. So Orton going back to work. And the Saints doing a lot better defensively than they did a week ago. As you look at Orton's number when they gave up 435 yards in total offense to the Eagles. A more prolific team on the attack than the Bears. Orton with time and finds Muhammad, who goes out of bounds, stops the clock. About 2 yards shy of the first down. And, well, they call it the second city, but I don't think Chicago takes a backseat to anything as Orton, with 2 minutes remaining, going deep for Hester, makes the catch and scores! "55 yards, and you knew sooner or later the swift Devin Hester would get open. And the Bears come back quickly.
Well, he scores the touchdown about every 1 out of about 10 times he touches it. You can only keep him down so long, and this has been a play that really they haven't run enough of this year. Just a straight fly pattern. Streak pattern. Gets behind the safety. Josh Bullock's there. Good hands.
First down from the 34. Pass is tipped. Incomplete, intended for Colston. So Colston had a chance to grab that one, even though it was tipped at the line.
Well, he actually dropped it before Manning got to it. Both teams aggressive right now in the passing game. You got to give the Bears a lot of credit. They've opened up this offense for Kyle Orton. They've taken advantage of it, taking a shot down to Hester, and I would expect Breeze to be just as aggressive here with still 2 timeouts to go.
And a game of 2 former Purdue quarterbacks, Orton and Breeze, who now steps up, and his pass low to Colston once again, and quickly 3rd and 10.
In fact, Drew Brees is the one that showed Kyle Orton around when he came to Purdue for his visit coming out of high school. Brees does a great job of avoiding pressure. Came in today with only being sacked 13 times in almost 600 attempts. The fewest anybody's been sacked in the year in the season this year. 1 sack today, so 14 on the year.
3rd down and 10. Minute and a half to go. Bears looking to get the ball back, perhaps, and this ball is caught by Colston, and they're trying to wrestle it away from him. It's an 8-yard pickup. Was Danielle Manning.
And here's Devin Hester down at the bottom and Bernard Berring up top. I mean, I'd drop back and throw it down the field again.
And they loft this one to Peterson. And Peterson has a touchdown pass for a score, losing the ball and a fumble on the play, and the Saints get it back for intermission.
Colston against a zone look here. Will have room to catch this ball.
Good pass to Colston, who gets hit but holds on to it. And a crunching hit by Danielle Manning.
You still have time here, Dick, to throw the ball in the field of play and get up and clock the ball should you catch it and stop the clock.
Breeze with a pump fake. And going for David Patton. Incomplete in the corner of the end zone. 14 seconds remain. McBride on the coverage. And David Patton running all the way through the tunnel that time. Welcome back, David.
Receivers are used to retrieving their own overthrown footballs right there. Had a great chance to get that ball into David Patton there for the touch. Got behind McBride. Breeze is very good in these situations of knowing the clock, the situation, where they can go with the ball on 3rd down here.
Clock a big factor here, and Breeze's pass is intercepted by Charles Tillman, returning for the Bears, and he fumbles it, and the Saints get it back. Watch the clock, and it stops with 2 seconds remaining, back on the 30-yard line. A bizarre series of an interception and a fumble. Lance Moore recovered it here.
Breeze really tried to force this ball into Lance Moore. Great play by Charles Tillman. Now, Tillman's trying to score here. Trying to get, and he just dropped the ball, it looked like. Looked like the ball just fell out of his hands. Tillman does a good job of playing. That's the cover 2 right there. The corner falls off, squeezes him to the safety. Oh yeah, that ball got stripped out by Pierre Thomas there. Knocked out of his hands, and now the Saints with a chance for a field goal.
And Kyle Orton's numbers, 2 touchdowns. Devin Hester has a TD catch as well. And a first down from the 15. Thomas with the carry. And gets a couple of yards as we get down on the field, and a report from Mike Hall.
Dick, I talked with Lovie Smith at halftime. He said the thing they want to fix most going into the second half is cut down on the mistakes, saying that fumble at the end of the first half killed us. As for the New Orleans Saints, in the middle of halftime, Marcus Colston was the only player to come out of the locker room, got in a cart, and went away. I'll find out exactly what that is, but no word as of right now.
All right, Mike, thank you very much. Colston with 8 catches for 94 yards and 2 touchdowns. He's the big weapon along with Drew Brees today, and David Patton, number 81, has replaced him at wide receiver. Eric Johnson in motion. Play action for Brees. The ball knocked away, and the Saints appear to have recovered. Alex Brown knocked it away, and Jari Evans recovered for New Orleans.
Well, here's Alex Brown working against Jamal Brown down here. And Alex Brown is playing like he wants to be back here next year, wants to start again someplace next year. Making a lot of impactful plays the last 2 weeks.
This is only his second start. Prior to this year, he started the Super Bowl. Mark Anderson went on IR with a sprained knee, and people have wondered why hasn't Alex Brown been there as a starter before the last couple of weeks. 3rd down and 10. Brees on the screen to Thomas, and he's taken down immediately by Tommy Harris, number 91. No gain on the play.
And Tommy Harris, we just haven't not called his name enough this year. He's been bothered by injuries going all the way back to last year with the hamstring injury, missing the Super Bowl, and then coming in this year having a knee injury that set him back in and out of the lineup for weeks. But when he's on and he's healthy, this can be a special defense.
And you saw Devin Hester go back deep, and Steve Weatherford, who's had a terrific season punting for the Saints, will be kicking from about the 5. Hester, listen to the anticipation of this crowd. Hester at the 40, and Hester is going to go all the way. No flags are down. Devin Hester. A punt return touchdown, 64 yards. His 4th of the year. Bears increase their lead.
Dick, you said it. There was a hush in the audience, like, here he go, he could get, and he's gone. I mean, you just hold your breath. Sean Payton said, we can't kick to this guy today. They have, and they now just paid for it.
And you could sense it in the audience before the ball even came down.
You're going to see that not a whole lot of blocks. Rasheed Davis gets one. I mean, this is Devin Hester, just the most dangerous guy, and Sean Payton shaking his head here, yelling at a special team coach, John Bonamego, yelling at Steve Weatherford, the punter. Came into our meeting, the first thing he said to us yesterday was, we are not going to let Devin Hester touch the ball in this game, and he's touched it 2 big times for touchdown.
Now the Saints looking for Marcus Colston to touch it. First Thomas with the screen pass and a first down. Daniel Manning takes him out, and there was question about Marcus Colston from Mike Hall down on the field, but he was out on that first play from scrimmage. Meanwhile, 17 yards gets the Saints out of trouble.
But Devin Hester, not only when he touches the ball is he the most dangerous guy in the league, but when he doesn't touch it, he influences what every team does in this league. Do we kick to him? Do we pooch punt to him? Do we pooch kickoff, kick it out of bounds, onside kick? It affects every single play in the kicking game when he's out there.
First down at the 29. Play action for Brees. And Breeze going to Thomas. And the rookie from the University of Illinois making the most of his big chance here, coming back home to Chicago, picks up 15 more. Hillenmeyer, the linebacker, downfield on the stop.
Well, the game is not too big for Pierre Thomas.
No.
I mean, he looks like he just belongs out there. Every time he puts it in his hands, he makes good things happen to it.
Look at Aaron Stecker. You look at the Green Bay running attack. Look at Ernest Graham.
Yeah, Ryan Granton, Green Bay, all these free agent running backs making a huge impact in this league this year.
Graham, of course, from Tampa Bay, on the pitch to Pierre Thomas. Look at Thomas as he churns into Chicago territory to the 49, getting 8 yards.
He was almost choked up yesterday when he talked to us about what impact Deuce McAllister had, Reggie Bush had with him this year, Aaron Stecker, those guys in the room, that running back room, he said, were so special. And you got to give this guy credit. I mean, he came to a team that was loaded at running back. McAllister, Bush, Stecker. They had drafted Antonio Pittman from Ohio State, yet he thought he could still earn his stripes in this league on this team.
Chris Barkley is now at running back. And the pass incomplete for Moore, and a flag goes down, and the Bears complaining over that possible interference call, which would give the Saints the first down.
Pass interference, number 33 defense. First down, spot of the foul.
Tillman, the penalty.
Tillman playing an outside technique here on Lance Moore, funneling him to the inside. Well, the initial hit inside 5 yards, contact there was all legal, and then he got his hands off him. I thought in time to not allow that infraction to occur.
First down at the 43. Thomas back in the lineup. Breeze nowhere to go. Finds a receiver, and it's Eric Johnson. And the tight end, who was inactive the last 2 games with an injured groin, comes within 2 yards of the first down.
Well, Drew Brees, I think, always feels like he's got some place to go.
Yes.
I mean, that just staying in that pocket, knowing that it's collapsing around him, but keeping his eyes up down the field and then scanning to find, you know, an open receiver like that where Johnson came available.
7-yard pickup. So the Saints trying to get in the playoffs. Loss of Deuce McAllister. Major loss in week 3, taking away that aspect of their game. And on the rollout, pass to Billy Miller on a bootleg, and Miller will have the first down in the 4th quarter. And the last week to the Eagles, well, they're still alive. 1st and 15. Thomas. And not much. The Bears are right there.
You know, the way this whole schedule fell today, Dick, for the New Orleans Saints, I think the best thing that's happened for them, now they're still down 2 touchdowns. They got a long way to go here to get back in this thing and have a chance to win. But the fact that the Vikings play later today and that the Redskins play later today, they're not busy looking up the scoreboard, what happened. You know, they can play to win it, and then let fate determine what happens in the later games today.
Just pay attention to the job at hand. 2nd down and 13. Breeze in the pocket, and the pass is complete to Terrence Copper. And the Copper is down at the 25 by Hunter Hillenmeyer after picking up 9.
The Saints do a good job of protecting, and the Bears, who blitzed an awful lot last week, haven't come with it as much here today. Kind of like laying off and playing coverage, especially with this 14-point lead right now. I think they're afraid. I think they're afraid of blitzing Drew Brees because he can hit you with, you know, strike ability on any single play.
And they have said that the Bears blitz a lot more at home.
Yeah, Lovie Smith told us that on yesterday morning.
4 for 4 on this drive is Drew Brees looking for the target, and it's knocked in the air. Incomplete. Alex Brown deflected that one. So 4th down coming up. It'll be 4th down and 4.
Well, they blitzed this time. Both Briggs and Urlacher right up in the A gaps. See what they got was they got Tommy Harris on Mike Carney. Pretty good collision there. Harris ran him over. And this is that situation in the game that Sean Payton said that they're going to stay aggressive, 4th here, and less than 5, put the ball in Drew Brees' hands and take their chance. The 4th time today they've gone for it on 4th down.
1 for 2 thus far on the 4th down conversions. This is the longest that they've had to make 4 yards. And here is Breeze, and the pass thrown behind David Patton. So Sean Payton playing in aggressively, 4th down, and the Bears will take over on downs at the 25. After stopping the Saints on 4th down, Adrian Peterson gets running room up the middle and gets 8 yards on 1st down.
If they go back to this last 4th down play, Bears are, again, a couple times today, they blitz these A-gaps, but they're getting their hands up on the outside. This ball gets slightly deflected. So it's behind David Patton there, and one thing that Sean Payton did during that timeout was he ran over to his offensive line. He told his guys, cut these guys, get their hands down, stop them from batting down these balls on these short routes.
Israel Adonijah has been made a career this season out of getting pieces. Here's a long pass to Bradley downfield. Bradley is there to make the catch. And did not keep control of the ball. The official was right there. Bradley came down with it, but did not have control when he reached the ground.
Well, the Bears wait to the 16th game of the season to unleash this deep passing game of theirs. Can't throw the ball any better than Kyle Orton did right there, and he doesn't. Bradley doesn't do a good job of taking this one all the way in. You see the ball slip through there. Good call by the side judge, seeing that ball slip through and hit the ground, but a great throw by Orton.
Would have been a 53-yard completion. Instead, 3rd down and 2 with 6:22 to go in the 3rd. And here is Kyle Orton trying to get away from Grant and gets out of the tackle box and throws the ball away. Terrence Copper to the right of your picture. 1st down. Drew Brees. And a pass thrown behind David Patton. And for a report, let's go down to Mike Hall.
Got an update on Marcus Colston. He's got his helmet off walking the sidelines. The team still officially won't say there's anything wrong with him, but I've seen him wincing and grabbing his left hand. They also put a special pad, it looked like, underneath his glove on the back side of his hand. And again, he's still helmet off on the sideline, guys.
All right, Mike, and of course the Saints really are limited, and that's their game, the passing game, without Colston. And it really might have affected them on that 4th and 2. Colston was not in the game. 2nd down and 10. And there's the screen to Pierre Thomas. And Thomas is tackled down at the 24 by Urlacher and Hillenmeyer. Drew Brees, 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions, and setting the NFL record for completions in a year. Thomas having a big game as a runner and as a receiver, and Marcus Colston with 2 touchdown grabs, heading the receiving core for New Orleans.
Well, make no question about it. This core is led by Marcus Colston. With him on the sidelines right now, it limits Drew Brees and some of the things he likes to look at.
3rd down and 3. Pass out to Terrence Copper. And Copper will be prevented by Brian Urlacher from getting the 1st down. Big play by Urlacher, who had an interception earlier in the game, and that will bring up.
Watch Brian jump here, Dick. I mean, he just takes off as soon as he sees the ball outside there. I mean, forget about the angles. Let's get to the sidelines as quickly as I can, knock him down here, and keep him short of the 1st down. A real impact play by Brian on that key 3rd down.
And you know, Bears will start at the 47-yard line. So the strategy with Devin Hester is backfired, and there's the flip to Devin Hester, who's going to throw, can't find a target, and is knocked back for a loss at the 32 by Roman Harper. So some razzle-dazzle involving Hester again doesn't work, and a loss on the play.
Well, it's a bad play that backfired, but I give the Bears credit for it. That's Sean Payton. The last time that they punted the ball to Devin Hester, and he was telling Steve Weatherford, why can't you just punt it out of bounds like we talked about all week? That was the game plan.
Meanwhile, the Bears lose 15 yards. 2nd down and 25. Garrett Wolf gets the handoff, trying to bounce it outside, and Wolf is knocked back by Scott Fujita. So the Bears going in reverse here with 3:45 to go in the 3rd.
think when you look at the Bears and you look at the personnel they have on the field, when you have Hester and Berrien on the field at the same time, immediately every alert in your head goes off. Deep ball, trick plays, and when you got two guys that can stretch the field the way they speedsters can, the safeties are forced to play deep.
And Rasheed Davis going out to the left, along with Berrien. Pressure on Orton. He dumps it off to Garrett Wolf. Wolf still on his feet, cutting to the outside. Big run by Wolf after the catch, and goes out of bounds, picks up the first down. A big play for the Bears into Saint territory. 32 yards for Chicago.
And here's the role of Garrett Wolf, because it's just a screen pass here, trying to get as many yards as they can. It does a good job of just kind of bouncing off the interior lineman, and that's what he can give you there, that type of balance, and then the big play ability, the stretch ability. And suddenly this Bear offense in week 16 looks explosive.
32 yards after the catch for Garrett Wolf, and a first down. And here's Wolf again, and he is knocked back, a loss of a yard on the play. And you talk about that offense, their most points that the Bears have scored was an overtime victory back in November against Denver. They got 37-35 last week against Green Bay.
Well, you know, in that game against Denver, Hester returned 2 for touchdowns, and so when they do score a lot, Hester is really at the at the crux of that. Scored 2 touchdowns here today.
55-yard touchdown catch and a 64-yard punt return. Adrian Peterson back in there for the Bears. Pressure on Orton, gets the ball knocked away, loose ball, and McKee covers up for the Bears at the 46. Once again, the Saints putting huge pressure on Kyle Orton.
Well, they come with the blitz here. Harper, the free safety, comes clean. Gets that ball out of Orton's hands. And now one of the hardest things to do, Hollis Thomas trying to grab that ball, is just recovering fumbles in this league is such a problem. Teams don't practice it enough, and there is a skill to it, to get to the side of it and scoop it up and bring it to your body rather than trying to fall right on the top of it.
There is Hester to the top of your picture right now. On third down and 17 with under a minute and a half remaining in the third. Orton going to the tight end, Greg Olsen up the middle, and a good tackle made by Usama Young, the nickelback, preventing the first down, although the Bears do get 12 yards out of it to the 34.
Orton wants to go for it, and he may have just talked Ron Turner and Lovie Smith into it. Good open field tackle by Young. You're seeing all the weapons here in Chicago right now. You're seeing Berrien, you're seeing Devin Hester, Greg Olsen, and that was sort of the plan all along, was to take that Super Bowl team and add Hester to the offense and Greg Olsen. It just hadn't really materialized yet.
You're looking at Kyle Orton, who's done nothing but win. He's 11-6 as a starter in his career. Fourth down and 5, and here's Orton with the pump fake and the pass to Olsen. And not much of an angle downfield, and Kevin Casefaharn covering. And so the Saints will take over on downs. Done that. And Marcus Colston still has not come back to the lineup. Big operative in their offense. Here's Pierre Thomas, who's been terrific today. And Thomas getting up to the 41.
They're taking advantage of a little sled riding hill.
Pierre Thomas driving for the first down and gets it to the 36. Thomas now with 148 total yards today. And what a great start to his first game ever in Chicago. Growing up in Linwood, Illinois, 28 miles south of Soldier Field, and a White Sox fan from South Side.
Well, he's the White Sox fan, but members of his family are Cub fans, and that led to quite a few family feuds.
He wasn't getting tickets for the family members who rooted for the Cubs.
Now you draw the line.
Here's Thomas again going outside, and another big run and first down. Pierre Thomas, as he goes out of bounds at the 41, getting 13. These are the numbers of the third quarter only.
You see that the Bears have had no rushing attack in that. The only score was the punt return for a touchdown by Devin Hester, who is the difference in this game today, as Pierre Thomas comes off the field to put the shoe back on.
And you're absolutely right. Hester the key. You look at those numbers, you think the Saints are rolling all over the Bears.
So? No, but it's been the big playability of Devin Hester. He's averaged over 40 yards a touchdown in his career.
Here's Breeze trying to get something going and unable to get it to Chris Barkley, who was assigned this week. Played 4 games with the Tennessee Titans and has been the kickoff return man for New Orleans today. So it'll be 2nd down and 10.
The only thing we haven't seen from Pierre Thomas, and it's been a great debut here in Soldier Field for him, is the big run. You know, where he can break through into the second level and then show his breakaway speed. You know, if he has that element to his game, this is a guy that you can say can line up and play tailback for us looking ahead to next year.
But over 100 rushing yards for the first time in his career. And there is Breeze stepping up, and Breeze goes down, loses the ball. And the scramble is on.
Urlacher with the interception. The guys have defended the pass well.
2nd down and 6. Peterson. Not much running room, and Will Smith is right there. And this is exactly what Lovie Smith envisioned coming into this game, and a great tradition. But there'll be some questions that need to be answered during the offseason for this franchise. Orton's pass caught for the first down by Muhsin Muhammad.
And those are some of the questions right there. You know, does Muhsin Muhammad return next year? Does Bernard Berrien, who will be a free agent and will be a high-priced free agent, I believe. I think he'll maybe be one of the top wide receivers out there in the market this year.
Lance Briggs, of course, another one. And let's not forget Rex Grossman.
And Rex Grossman with the future of him. So they've got some, Jerry Angelo, the general manager, Lovey, they've got some big decisions to make when this game finishes.
And another big one is Brendan Ian-Vijeo, who's the special teams performer in the Pro Bowl. Peterson is wrapped up immediately by Kendrick Clancy.
The other big decision, I think, Dick, is what are they going to do at running back? I mean, Cedric Benson, look, the 4th pick in the draft, he wasn't productive enough. He wasn't productive enough when he was out there this year. And this team is built around the run game. We all know that Thomas Jones left for free agency. Weren't able to keep both of them. I think they let the wrong guy go. But can you win, and can you run the style of football that you want that Lovie Smith would like with Cedric Benson? They've got to answer that question this offseason.
That's what they've done today, and came in 31st in the league in rushing. 2nd down and 11 for Orton. His pass is picked off. Interception by Jason David. So David gets it back, and that's the 6th turnover of the game. 3 by each club in their own territory. 1st down on their 32. Drew Brees firing away, goes underneath to Eric Johnson, the tight end, who gets 9 yards.
I think let's take a look at that last interception from Kyle Orton. Throwing it to Bernard Berrien here. He's just late with this ball. And Jason David, who's playing there, he gets a great look at it. Gets a good jump and a jump on that ball. And Kyle Orton will be the first one to tell you that you can't hurt the team up 14 points in this situation and give the Saints life.
2nd and 1, Thomas, and he gets the 1st down to the 46-yard line. So the 2 former Boilermakers, Drew Brees and Kyle Orton, and those are their numbers today. Orton has the higher rating, and that interception is first in a couple of games. And those are the numbers with Drew Brees with 211 yards. But when you talk about the Bears with the running back and the quarterback problems, you don't know if the situation's any better than it was after last year ended. Brees completes to Patton, who's down to the 50. Gain of 5. Well, tomorrow night, starting at 11 p.m., celebrate New Year's Eve with Cat Deely and Spike Ferriston. That will be live. Don't miss exclusive previews of this year's BCS games and special performances from Fall Out Boy and Lifehouse. New Year's Eve live tomorrow at 11 p.m. on Fox. And the Saints have suffered some injuries in this game, which affected their offense. Pass thrown underneath to Thomas, and a first down to the Bear 40-yard line. We'll tell you about those, but first let's go to Kurt Menefee for a game break.
Well, Dick, just a reminder that when your game is done, it's game 2 of our Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader. Most of you will see Tony Romo and the Cowboys taking on Clinton Portis and the Washington Redskins. And keep in mind, if the Redskins win that game, they are in the playoffs.
That's right, Kurt. They control their own destiny. And the Saints, trailing by 14, need to win to keep their hopes alive. First down, and Breeze has it knocked away. And it was Alex Brown once again. Very active game for Alex Brown at defensive end.
A lot of batted balls down here today, too. And Breeze is approaching 50 attempts here today. Alex Brown just falls off here, and they're told, look, if you can't get to the quarterback, get your hands up. I mean, the one knock on Drew Brees has always been, going back to Westlake High School in Austin, Texas, Purdue and West Lafayette, Indiana, is, you know, just barely 6 foot. You know, you can get your hands in front of the ball right there. You can bat it down just as good as anything else you can do to it.
That was Brown's third deflection of the game, and the handoff to Thomas. And Thomas is stopped at the 40 by Tremaine McBride. Talking about the Saints' problems, of course, Marcus Colston, who's been the main target today and throughout the season for Drew Brees, out with the injured wrist. But Terrence Copper is also sidelined with a concussion. Josh Bullock's, the safety, also out. So the Saints right now are decimated at the worst time for them. Third down and 10 on the Bears 40. Breeze completes the pass to Johnson, but he won't get the first down as Lance Briggs prevents the first down. Loss, they're minus about 1.5 yards, and slow getting up is Johnson, who's been hurt the last 2 games. Huge play for the Saints' survival in this game. Drew Brees, and Brees under incredible pressure and led by Adewale Ogunleye, trying to get it to Pierre Thomas, incomplete, and the Bears take over on down.
And the Bears are having fun playing football. I mean, they're just teeing off right now. They're getting great jumps on the shotgun snap, and they're teeing off right now. And this is what the Bears have been hoping to play like all year long. I know Lovie Smith is enjoying it, and Drew Brees is having no fun out there right now.
Bears beat the Saints for the right to go to the Super Bowl last year, and leading here 31-17 with 8 minutes to go. Garrett Wolf, the rookie from Northern Illinois, nothing on first down. Resting some people, but want to knock the Redskins out.
The last thing the Redskins can think about later this afternoon is, well, the Cowboys aren't going to play their starters. They're not going to try to win. You start thinking like that, then the Redskins won't win that game.
Peterson for a couple. You saw Roberto Garza come off the field and replaced by Terrence Metcalf. Gain of 4 yards on the play, but you're absolutely right. I mean, you play a game, you play 16 games. Fans pay full price to see those games, and the players get paid for 16.
Cowboys going to give it a good shot out there today. We'll see Brad Johnson, but for the Redskins, who are going to try to win their 4th game in a row, it all started in their turnaround against the Bears when Todd Collins came in the game. When Jason Campbell went down, this team has elevated their play, trying to win their 4th game and into the playoffs.
And can the Collins magic continue? Kevin Hester to the bottom of your picture now. 3rd down and 5. And it's a running play to Peterson. He's got the first down. Adrian Peterson gets to the 47-yard line. A 10-yard pickup and a first down as the clock runs. Under 7 minutes to go in the 4th.
That's the type of run where the offensive linemen inside themselves are just celebrating. 3rd down, they put it in the running back's hands. They put it on themselves. And they can let that clock, they can look at the clock, and they can see that thing just keep ticking right there, and they get a little bit closer to that 2nd win in a row.
And Peterson now with 82 yards rushing, averaging 5 yards a carry. Going back to what you pointed out earlier, Lovie Smith saying that wherever I would go, Adrian Peterson would be the part of my team, no matter what. This time, Peterson is knocked back for a loss of 1.
Well, valuable today. I mean, he throws a touchdown pass.
Put his toe in the water this year, so to speak. Peterson gets into Saints territory to the 49-yard line, and the Bears using up the clock effectively. New Orleans out of timeouts. 2-yard pickup on that play.
You know, you look at the Bears drafts and what they've done. I mean, what bigger impact guy could they have taken but Devin Hester? And really, the impact that Hester has had in this league, going into the draft this year, teams are going to be scouting the entire country looking for the next Devin Hester, a guy that could play that kind of role and have that kind of impact throughout the team.
Hester coming in motion to the bottom, 3rd down and 7, makes the grab, loses it, incomplete pass, bringing up 4th down. Win the 2 games to get to the Super Bowl. What a show that would be. From the end zone, Drew Brees trying to find a receiver, and the pass is ruled a catch to David Patton, and a 1st down for the Saints.
It'll be 2nd and 10 on the 4-yard line.
Well, they got it right. That's the important thing here. So the Bears defense again has the Saints backed up where their end zone is, and the fans, they're enjoying this. This is sort of a tribute to them right there. Defense right in front of them, on their feet, cheering them on.
2nd and 10 out of the shotgun as Brees steps up, flag is down, dumps it off to Pierre Thomas, who's tackled shy of the 10-yard line by Briggs.
If this is a hold in the end zone, it'll be a safety.
Holding. Number 73 offense in the end zone. Result of the play was a safety.
Right on it, Brian, and I know you never did hold in the end zone for a safety when you were an offensive lineman.
I hid really well if I did. And Alex Brown's going to be out here having a heck of a 2-game audition for his job back next year. And then that's right there. You see Jari Evans holding Tommy Harris. They had a safety against the Saints in that NFC Championship game last year here.
Against Drew Brees, so that's Drew Brees now. The safety, 2 points, adding to the Bears' lead. That'll be a heck of a game. The Allstate Bowl Bash begins New Year's Day, only on Fox. Adrian Peterson bounces off a defender and stopped at the 45. And of course, Brian, you're taking off for Dallas for the Cotton Bowl game. Tell us about Arkansas and Missouri.
Well, Arkansas is one of the best running teams in football. In fact, they've got 2 running backs eligible for the draft that may be 1st-round picks. Darren McFadden, runner-up to the Heisman this year, Doak Walker Award winner, along with Felix Jones, who Lovie Smith knew a great deal about, coming out of Booker T. Washington High School in Tulsa. Recruited that area when he was at Tulsa for a long time. Confirmed just how good both those backs are.
Under 4.5 to go in the game. 2nd down and 10. Here's Peterson up the middle and getting close to midfield.
And on the other side, Chase Daniels was in the running for Heisman Trophy and invited there, runs a spread wide open offense at Missouri. And when you look at the college game, Dick, and you look at a lot of these bowl games that people are watching, you see a lot of the innovation from college creeping into the NFL.
Well, you asked Lovie Smith about that, and of course he follows the college game obviously very closely, as all the head coaches do, and he sees the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, you know, if you want to find you know, new wrinkles in the passing game, it's being done right now throughout college football.
3rd down and 5 for the Bears, comfortably in front here, 33-17 with 3:41 to go. And Peterson will be stopped at the 49, bringing up 4th down and a little more than 3 yards.
Bears defense all year, they gave up a number of them.
Nathan Vasher's injury problems as well, as Pierre Thomas on the screen pass, making the most of his opportunity, gets the 1st down. Ogunlia making the tackle in a gain of 11 yards. But it'll be interesting to see what the Bears do as far as quarterback and running back, as you talked about, much less seeing whether they can keep Lance Briggs, Berrien, and some of the others. Breeze goes underneath to Thomas. Down at the 32 by Briggs. He gets 8 on that one. And we're going to get to our 2-minute warning.
Oh, and I'm happy to be in Chicago playing it.
Drew Brees. And the pass caught by David Patton. And they get it up to the 49-yard line. 16-yard gain. Saints out of timeouts, trailing 33-17, but playing as if this game were much closer than that. First down with nearly a minute and a half to go. Breeze again, and it's caught by Billy Miller. He should get the first down. And the ball at the 41-yard line after the 11-yard pickup. Well, you really have to credit the NFL players like from the Bears and Giants playing as hard as they have down the stretch. And for those of you in the home markets of our late games, in a moment, you will be leaving this game, and we will be switching you to the start of your game. Pierre Thomas with an 11-yard pickup and another first down for the Saints.
Been a big bright spot here for the Saints today. Disappointing performance, disappointing outcome, but I think they have themselves a player in Pierre Thomas.
Breeze still fighting, completes to Billy Miller, and Miller gets it to the 21-yard line with 40 seconds to go. Well, the Saints' big opportunity came that home game against Tampa Bay several weeks ago. They were in position now to take the momentum on their side. Lost with a 23-20 lead. Pass again to Thomas, and he is stopped. But New Orleans, 2 touchdowns. How spectacular was that? Final seconds here, and Breeze going inside, and Pierre Thomas in for the touchdown. So Thomas, a Bear fan throughout his life, stepping foot into Soldier Field for the first time ever and having a brilliant game in defeat, wants the ball and deserves the ball, and great for Pierre Thomas, the rookie from the University of Illinois.
Yeah, he came back for the holidays. He was to visit Linwood, Illinois, and they're going to be happy in the hometown. Breeze here going to try for the 2-point conversion.
226 total yards for Pierre Thomas. 33-23. 7 seconds to go, and Thomas will walk in for the 2-point conversion. So it's an 8-point game, 1-possession game, but only 7 seconds and no timeouts remaining.
12-6 as a starter now, and the team wins when he's there. He made a couple of big throws today to help his cause.
So the game is over, and the Chicago Bears have defeated the New Orleans Saints by a score of 33-25. So this is Dick Stockton for Brian Baldinger saying so long. Stay tuned for the second half of this Fox doubleheader as the Redskins face the Cowboys, or the Vikings and the Broncos. So long, everybody.